Okay, so this video will serve as a reviewer for the statistics and probability. So yung mga ilalagay ko po dito is mga keyword lang. Ayan, para mas madaling matandaan yung mga dapat tandaan when in terms of stats and probability. So first, we have this word which is the branch of mathematics, which is statistics. Okay, so pag sinabi natin statistics, it was referring for the data, syempre, or we can interpret it as a analysis. Okay, so yan lang naman yung mga nandyan sa statistics: data, analysis, interpretation of data, presentation of data. Okay, so while kapag sinabi natin probability, it was referring for the chances that something will happen. So maybe we can yung keyword natin dito is chances. Basta may chance na something na mangyari, we are referring for the probability. Then let's talk about the statistics first. Okay, so underneath statistics is yung ating random variable, although meron din naman siya sa probability. Okay, so we have the random variable. Yung random variable natin, and this one is represented by a capital letters, and it is a set of values nung ating mga given set, or representing for the set of values. Okay, so this one is a set of values. Okay, lang yung dapat tandaan. Pag sabing random variable is a set of values na meron siyang corresponding value in every given. So meron siyang corresponding number, okay, in every given. So for example, yung variable natin na x. Okay, so meron siyang corresponding value kung ano-ano yung mga possible values ng random variable x na yun. Okay, so under ni random variable is yung two kinds niya, which is what we call the discrete random variable and the continuous random variable. So under niya, we have the discrete random variable, RV na lang random variable, and the continuous random variable, continuous random variable. Now, pagka sinabi nating discrete random variable, ito yung mga variables na countable, and this one is represented by a whole number. Basta nabibilang po. Okay, so siya ay discrete. For example, number of students who pass statistics and probability for this school year. Okay, number of people who lives in Metro Manila. Number of chickens that a hen lay. Okay, so yun po yung mga sample ng mga discrete random variable. Okay, so most of the time pagka ang mga sentence yan, number of, pero hindi lagi most of the time lang. Okay, so yun yung mga examples ng discrete random variable. Samantala pagka sinabi natin continuous random variable, ito naman po yung mga measurable. Ayan, yung mga measurable, tapos it was represented by an infinite numbers. Okay, number of possible values. So lagyan na infinite infinite possible values. Pag sabi natin infinite possible values, pwede siyang maging whole number, pwede rin siyang maging decimal, maging fractions. Okay, so basta measurable siya. Okay, so bakit kasi naman pwede siya maging whole number? For example, exactly 3 cm. Okay, yung 3 natin is a whole number, so pwede siyang maging kaya siya sinabing infinite possible values. So si continuous, pwede siya mag-represent as a decimal, fraction. Ayan po, basta dapat siya measurable. Okay, pag sinabi natin measurable, pupasok na dito yung mga unit. Okay, yan, so yan yung pinakaiba ni discrete kay continuous. Okay, samantalang dun sa ating probability, meron tayo diyang possible values. Okay, pag sinabi naman nating possible values, ito naman po yung mga nakukuha natin in every event. Okay, so possible values, mga values na possible na pwede natin makuha in every event. So for example, sa rolling of a die, okay, sa die, okay, sa rolling of a die, ano ba yung mga possible values natin doon? Ang mga possible values na pwede natin makuha when in terms of the rolling of a die is yung mga 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kasi 'di ba sa isang normal die, ayan, meron siyang mga possible outcomes or possible values which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Paano pag sinabing rolling of a die pero add lang? Okay, mga add numbers. Okay, pagka mga add numbers lang po yung pinapahanap, syempre kunin niyo lang yung mga add numbers yan which is 1, 3, at saka 5. O, pagka even, ayan, yung mga even doon. So, meron tayong 2, 4, tsaka 6. Ayan, yung mga example na. For example, another one, pagka kunyari, tumaya ako sa loto. Ano yung possible values na tatama ako sa loto in percent form? Percent form yung hinahanap. So, pwede, dalawa lang naman yung possible na mangyari. Tatama ako or hindi ako tatama. Okay? Kapag tumaya ako doon. So, ibig sabihin yung for example, let x, yung variable ko sa pagtama ko ng loto. So, kapag hindi ako tumama, so we can say that x is greater than or equal to 0. Ayan, may equal siya. It's because pwede akong maging bokya. Okay? O kaya naman, masigit pa doon. Which is, yun yung possible values ng pwede akong tumama. Okay? 100. Bakit 100? Kasi po sabi ko kanina, representation by percent. Okay, so ano ba yung chance natin when in terms of the percent na tatama ako ng loto? So pwede akong maging 0, pwede akong maging 100% yung chance na pagtama ko doon sa loto. Another one, pagka sum ng sum of two numbers taken from two boxes containing numbers values 0 to 3. So, sum daw nung dalawang box of two box na merong numbers na 0 hanggang 3. For example, ayan, ang ginagawa na lang natin dyan is table. Nagre-represent ng mga two boxes. So, first box natin dito sa taas, second box dito sa baba. Okay lang naman sila magkapalit. Okay? Ano yung mga possible values na pwede ko makuha sa first box ko? Sa first box ko, meron daw siyang numbers 0 hanggang 3. So, meron tayong 0, 1, 2, at saka 3. Sa second box ko, ganun din siya. 0, 1, 2, at saka 3. Ang hinihingi ko is sum nung pag-draw ko dun sa dalawang box. So, ito yung una kong box, ito yung pangalawa kong box. Ayan. So, possible values yung mga kinukuha. So, ibig sabihin po, ang gagawin ko lang is pag-add ko yung mga possible na makukuha ko dun sa first box ko at saka dun sa second box. For example, nakuha ko dun sa second box 0. So, first box ko ay 0 din. So, 0 plus 0, that is equal to 0. Next, nakuha ko sa first box ko 1. Sa second box ko 0 ulit. 1 plus 0, 1. Ganun ulit. Sa 2 ko, sa first box ko, 2 yung nakuha ko. Sa second box is 0. 2 plus 0, that is equal to 2. Then, 3. Tapos, follow nyo lang yung procedure. So, 0 plus 1, that is equal to 1. 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. 2 plus 1, that is equal to 3. 3 plus 1, that is equal to 4. 0 plus 2, 2. 1 plus 2, 3. 2 plus 2, 4. 3 plus 2, 5. 0 plus 3, 3. 1 plus 3, 4. 2 plus 3, 5. Then 3 plus 3, 6. Ayan. So, since possible values yung hinihingi, so now, ano yung possible values na makakuha ako ng sum ng mga two boxes ko na merong number 0 to 3. So, ito yung mga yon. Okay. So, kunin na lang natin. For example, yung boxes natin representing for the variable b. Okay, so yung mga probability natin dyan, or sorry, yung possible values na pwede natin makuha, isang number lang kapag meron siyang kaparehas. So, meron tayong 0, meron tayong 1, may 2, may 3, may 4, may 5, at saka may 6. So, ibig sabihin na ito yung mga possible values ko kapag pinag-add ko yung dalawang yung mga possible values na makukuha ko sa dalawang box ko ng merong contains na 0 hanggang 3. Ayan yung mga possible values. Okay, next naman po is yung what we call the discrete probability distribution. This one is represented by the discrete random variable. Okay, so pagka sinabi natin discrete probability distribution, so automatically that is a table. Ayan, it was represented by a table ng ating discrete random variables. Okay, now meron tayong dalawang property na dapat tandang-tanda ninyo. Okay, so property niya, number 1 at saka number 2. Okay, so yung unang property, dapat daw yung probabilities, yung mga probabilities niyan is nagre-range lang sa 0 hanggang 1. Yung bawat value dun sa probability dapat nagre-range lang siya sa 0 hanggang 1. Then the next property niya ng ating discrete probability distribution ay dapat yung sum ng mga probability, sum of probabilities ng mga probabilities natin ay dapat ay mag-equal lang siya kay 1. Okay, sum of probability is equal to 1. Okay, dapat, again, ulitin ka, yung mga value ng ating probability, magre-range lang siya from 0 to 1. Tapos, pag pinag-add natin yung mga probability na yun, dapat mag-equal lang siya sa 1. Okay? Next. So, now, determine natin kung DPD ba to yung gagawin ko or hindi. Okay, so for example, meron akong box contains x values, tsaka yung kanyang probability. For example, meron 1, 2, 3, 4, 0.2, 0.3, 0.25 at sa 0.35. Ayan, so determine natin kung siya ba ay discrete probability distribution or hindi. So ang gagawin lang po natin, so first, probability dapat daw nag-range ng 0 to 1. Ito lang yung titignan natin, yung probability. Okay, kahit anong value nung nasa x, wala tayong pakialam dyan. Dito lang tayo titingin sa probability. Okay, para malaman natin kung siya ba ay discrete probability distribution or hindi. Okay, so dapat daw nag-range, unang property, dapat nag-range from 0 to 1 yung mga value dito sa probability. Okay, so 0.2, ayan, in between yan ng 0, nag-range yan from 0 to 1, yung 0.3 din, 0.25 at saka 0.35. Yan, malalaman nyo yan na hindi na siya nag-range from 0 to 1 kapag pag nagkaroon ng values ng value na tong 0, tumaas na siya. Kunyari naging 1.2, 2.2, 2.3, 5.3, ganyan. O kaya naman nag-negative. Ibig sabihin hindi na siya nagre-range from 0 to 1. Okay? So lahat naman yan ay nagre-range from 0 to 1. Next, property natin, sum of probability is equal to 1. So ibig sabihin pag pinag-add po ito lahat, dapat mag-equal siya sa 1. So 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.25 then plus 0.35. So 5 plus 5 0 carry 1. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 carry 1. So magiging 1.10 na siya. Okay, so since 1.10 siya, so hindi na natin ito pwede i-consider as discrete probability distribution. Okay, so not siya. Okay, bakit siya not? Kasi hindi niya na-satisfy yung second property. Dapat equal to 1 lang. Sumobra na siya. Okay, naging 1.10 na siya. So, since sumobra siya sa 1, so hindi na natin siya pwede i-consider as discrete probability distribution. Okay? So, pero, for example, ginawa ko tong 1.15. Yung number 3 natin. 1.15. Palitan ko yung 0.25 doon ng 1.15. Ayan, tapos check ulit natin kung magwa 1 ba siya. Okay, so 5 plus 5, 0 carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 0 carry 1, so we have 1. Then decimal. So 1 na siya. 1.00. So, ibig sabihin, ito na ay pwede na natin masabi na ito ay discrete probability distribution. Okay, nasatisfy niya yung una at saka yung pangalawa, dapat yung dalawang probability yung masasatisfy niya. So, since dalawang probability na yung nasatisfy niya, una at saka pangalawa, so we can consider na this one as a discrete probability distribution. Okay, next, pwede rin siyang mag-represent as a fraction yung mga probability. Kasi yung probability natin, pwede siyang mag-represent as fraction, as a percent, or as a decimal form. Okay? And, for example, palitan ko siya, gawin ko siyang 1/10. Tapos 1/10 ulit. Tapos 3/10. Tapos 5/10. Okay? So, this one, pagka naka-fraction form siya, masasabi nyo na nag-range siya from 0 to 1 kung yung fraction form natin ay proper fraction. Ano po yung proper fraction? Pag sinabi natin proper fraction, dapat yung value ng numerator natin is lower kaysa doon sa value ng ating denominator. Okay, kaysa doon sa value ng ating denominator. Dapat mas higher yung value nung nasa denominator. Okay, 1/10. Sino mas mataas sa kanila? Yung denominator. So, ibig sabihin itong 1/10 natin ay proper fraction. 1/10, proper fraction. 3/10, proper fraction. 5/10, proper fraction din. So, ibig sabihin, yung bawat value na meron tayo sa probability is nag-range from 0 to 1. So, ibig sabihin, na-satisfy natin yung property number 1. Next, property number 2, sum of probability is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin, pag pinag-add daw po ito lahat, at mag-equal siya sa 1. So, add natin. So, we have 1/10 plus yung second, 1/10 plus yung third natin is 3/10 plus yung fourth natin is 5/10. So, since pare-paras naman yung denominator niya, wala tayong problema dyan. So, over 10 na agad dyan. Add na lang yung numerator. 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5, that is equal to 10. And 10 divided by 10, that is equal to 1. So, ibig sabihin na satisfy niya yung second property natin. So, ibig sabihin na itong example na to, that is a discrete probability distribution. Okay? So, hindi niya lang yung basta na-satisfy niya yung dalawa, so we can consider this one as a discrete probability distribution. Okay, next. Paano naman pagka percent form siya binigay? Okay, so tandaan sa percent form, ang equivalent value niya when in terms of the decimal nung 1 natin, that is 100%. Okay, so yung 100% natin, that is equal to 1. Okay, so ibig sabihin dapat magkaroon siya ng total na 100%. For example, meron tayong 30%, 20%, 40%, tapos 9%. Okay, so ito ba ay discrete probability distribution or hindi? So first check natin kung masasatisfy niya yung ating mga probability value. So probability range from 0 to 1. Okay, so magre-range siya from 0 to 1 kung ang makikita nyo mga value dyan ay 0 to 100%. Pero dapat mayroong form na percent form. Okay, pagka wala yung percent form, ibig sabihin whole number yon. Okay, so this one, 30%, check. 20%, check. 40%, check. 9%, check. So, ibig sabihin, satisfy natin yung unang probability. Next, sum of probability is equal to 1. So, kapag naka-percent form siya, dapat pag pinag-add natin to lahat, dapat maging equal to 100% siya. Para masabi na natin siya na equal to 1 siya. So, add lang natin to lahat. So, we have 30 plus 20 plus 40 plus 9. So, that is equal to 9, 4, 5, 9. 99%. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya nag-100. So, since hindi siya nag-100, so we cannot consider this as a discrete probability distribution. So, not siya. Okay, kasi ang dapat is 100%. Hindi po natin pwede tanggapin yung 99%. So, ibig sabihin, hindi niya na-satisfy yung property number 2. So, this one is not a discrete probability distribution. Okay? So, meron pang isang form para malaman daw kung siya ay discrete probability distribution or hindi. Kapag ka nagbigay ng representation as a function. Okay, paano pagka hindi siya naka-table? Okay, so function yung binigay. For example, we have f of x is equal to x over 15. Tapos yung mga values daw ng x ay 1, 2, 3, 4, at saka 5. Okay, so ito madali lang to pagka naka-fraction form siya. X over 15. Tignan nyo lang yung value ng mga x natin. Okay, pag pinag-add natin tong lahat ng value ng x natin, tapos nag-equal siya doon sa denominator, ibig sabihin discrete probability distribution yan. Okay, so we have 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, that is equal to 15. So ibig sabihin 15 yung x natin, x 15 divided by 15, that is equal to 1. So ibig sabihin po, ito pong function na to, this one is a discrete probability distribution. So DPD siya. Okay, DPD siya, or discrete probability distribution. Another one, so for example, we have P of x is equal to x over 10. So if the value of our x is 1, 2, 3, tsaka 0. Okay, so again, pagka ganito yung question, so all we need to do is to add yung mga value ng x. So add mo itong lahat. So magiging 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 0, that is equal to 6. Oh, dapat magiging kapares yung denominator. So this one, hindi niya naging kapares yung denominator. So ibig sabihin, hindi siya mag-equal to 1. So ibig sabihin po, itong ating second example is not a discrete probability distribution kasi hindi niya naging kapareha yung kanyang denominator, which is 10. Okay, so yun po yung sa ating discrete probability distribution. Okay, next one is yung evaluating of discrete probability distribution. Okay, so tandaan ulit yung ating probability distribution kanina, which is yung property niya, dapat daw nagre-range from 0 to 1 yung mga probability outcome. Tapos dapat pag pinag-add natin lahat, that is equal to 1. Okay, so first find the P of 4. So yung P of 4, tingin lang kayo sa probability. Asan ba dyan yung value na merong 4? 4. Tapos yung probability niya is x. So ibig sabihin, P of 4 is equal to x. Pero hindi pwede natin i-answer yung x lang dyan. Paano pag value talaga yung nahanap? Okay? So yung P of 4 natin that is equal to x. So now, kailangan natin hanapin yung value ng x. Okay, so kanina, di ba, sabi natin, property number 2, para mabakuha yung value ng x, dapat daw pag pinag-add natin to lahat, dapat equal to 1 siya. So pwede natin gawing 0.25 yung first probability natin, P of 1, plus yung P of 2 natin, second probability, which is 0.35, plus P of 3, ang value ng P of 3 natin ay 0.2, diretso ko siya substitute then plus P of 4, ang P of 4 natin dyan ay x. So, plus x is equal to 1. Okay, ito yung second property natin. So, add lang natin yung lahat. So, 0.25 plus 0.35 plus 0.2. That is equal to 5, 0.8 plus x is equal to 1. Then lipat nyo lang dun yung 0.8. Pag nagta-transpose tayo, magiging negative yan. So x is equal to 1 minus 0.8. So our x is equal to 0.2. So ibig sabihin yung value ng x natin dito, or P of 4 natin, ay 0.2. Okay, so ganun lang po siya. Next, probability of even number. Okay, ano ba yung mga even number dyan? Meron tayong 2 at saka 4. Ano yung value ng 2 natin? 0.5. So, probability of 2 plus sa probability ng ating 4. Ano yung probability of 2 natin? We have 0.35 plus 0. Probability of 4 natin, ang nakuha natin kanina ay 0.2. Okay, so 0.35 plus 0.2 Okay, plus 0.2, that is equal to 0.55. So, ibig sabihin yung value ng probability of even natin ay 0.55. Next, probability of add. Ang add natin ay P of 1 at saka P of 3. Ano yung value ng P of 1 natin? 0.25 plus yung value ng P of 3 natin ay 0.2. Okay, that is equal to 0.45. Ganun lang po siya. Ito yung mga answer 0.2, 0.55, 0.45. Next, P of 1 plus P of 4. P of 1 natin ay 0.25 plus yung P of 4 natin, yung na-compute natin kanina, 0.2. That is equal to 0.45. Ayan. So, ganyan lang po mag-evaluate ng ating discrete probability distribution. Okay. Next po, yung sa ating discrete probability distribution, yung pag-compute ng ating mean, variance, at saka standard deviation. Okay. So, using the discrete probability distribution, nako-compute natin dyan yung mean, variance, at saka SD. Okay? So, si mean, pwede rin natin siya matawag na expected value. Expected value. Tandaan po Tapos, this one, yung symbol niya is mu. Okay, mu. Yan ang payo. Then, yung variance natin, ang symbol po natin dyan ay sigma squared. Tapos, standard deviation natin, ang symbol natin dyan ay sigma lang. Okay, wala na yung squared. Kay mu, that is our expected value or E of X. Pwede rin siyang E of X. Ayan. So, ayan yung mga possible symbol niya ng ating mean. Yung variance natin, ang formula natin sa variance ay the summation of the quantity of x squared times P of X minus the mu squared. Okay, ibig sabihin po yung mu natin, i-squared lang natin yan kasi kasama siya doon sa formula ng ating variance. Then, after mo makompute yung variance, pwede mo na rin makuha yung standard deviation. All you need to do is to square root mo lang yung nakuha mo kay variance. Okay, square root lang natin yung ating variance. Variance po yan yung sigma squared na nandyan sa loob. Sinortcut ko lang siya. Okay, so let's have here an example. Okay, given an example, this one is yung table natin for a discrete probability distribution. Tandaan po, 5 po yun. Yung kanyang column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 po yan. So yung una is yung variable natin. Value ng ating variable x, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yung kanyang probability, we have 0.16, 0.12, 0.37, tapos may variable na x. May variable na x. So, ibig sabihin, anong gagawin lang natin dito para makuha yung value ng x na to? I-add tong tatlo, tapos 1 minus yung tatlong to, tapos yun yung value ng x natin. So, pag pinag-add natin to lahat, 0.16 plus 0.12 plus 0.37, that is equal to 0.65. Okay, so 1 minus 0.65, that is equal to 0.35. So, ibig sabihin yung value ng x natin dito ay 0.35. Pakita ko 0.16 plus 0.12 plus 0.37. Okay, so we have 6, 8, 15, 5, carry 1. So, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0.65. Okay, so 1 minus 0.65, that is equal to 0.35. So, ibig sabihin yung value ng x natin doon ay 0.35. So, palitan ko na to. Tanggalin ko yung x. 0.35. Okay, next. Yan. So, first thing to do is to multiply yung ating x dun sa ating p of x. So, Yung third column natin is a composite of x times p of x. Okay. Yung x daw po, multiply lang natin kay p of x. X times p of x. Para makuha natin yung third column. So, ganun-ganun lang siya. 1 times 0.16, we have 0.16. Next, 2 times 0.12, that is equal to 0.24. Next, 3 times 0.37, that is equal to 1.11. 4 times 0.35, that is equal to 1.4. Okay? Then, para makuha natin yung ating mean, all we need to do is i-add natin lahat ng dito sa column ng x times p of x. Mean na yon. So, ibig sabihin mean, expected value siya. So, yung mu natin yung pwede natin makuha kapag in-add natin to lahat. So, our mu na lang gamit ko symbol. Okay? So, all we need to do is add to lahat. Sa third column natin is i-add lang natin para makuha natin yung mu. Okay, 0.16 plus 0.24 plus 1.11 plus 1.4, that is equal to 2.91. 2.91. Okay, so yun na yung value ng ating mean. Okay, next. Ayan, bago tayo mag-proceed sa susunod nating column, kunin na rin natin yung mu squared kasi kailangan natin siya sa variance. Okay, kasi may mu squared tayo kay variance. So, mu squared, ibig sabihin, yung 2.91 natin, i-squared lang natin siya. 2.91 times 2.91, that is equal to 8.4681. Okay, so that will be our mu squared. Ayan, kasi gagamitin natin ito mamaya kay variance. So, ibig sabihin, ang meron na tayo, may mean na tayo, or yung ating a of x, which is 2.91. Okay? Next, dun tayo sa fourth column. Ang fourth column natin po ay x squared. X in squared lang. Yung x in squared lang. May x tayo. Ito po yung x natin. Ano daw gagawin kay x? Squared lang natin. So, ibig sabihin, i-squared lang natin yung mga value na nandyan kay x. 1 squared, 1 times 1, 1. 2 squared, 2 times 2, 4. 3 squared, 3 times 3, 9. 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16. Okay, so yun na yung fourth column natin. Next, yung fifth column natin. Ang fifth column natin ay si x squared. Ito times natin siya kay p of x. Okay, so si x squared times daw natin siya kay p of x. Kasi yun yung kailangan natin sa ating variance. The summation of x squared times p of x. X squared times p of x. Ibig sabihin ito po. Summation niya. Ibig sabihin, i-add natin to lahat. Okay, x squared times p of x. X squared, ito times kay p of x. Ito po sa x squared kay p of x siya ito times. Paki-double check lagi. Kasi, may mga nakikita ko sa x squared dito siya tina-times. Kay x times p of x. Sa x squared po, doon kay p of x ito times. So, magiging 1 times 0.16. That is equal to 0.16. Next, 4 times 0.12, that is equal to 0.48. 9 times 0.37, we have 3.33. Then 16 times 0.35, that is equal to 5.6. Okay, so again po, para po makuha natin yung kailangan natin kay variance, all we need to do is to add or sum up yung nasa x squared times p of x. So, ibig sabihin po, i-add natin tong lahat na nasa fifth column natin. Okay, i-add natin siya. Okay, para makuha natin yung summation of x squared times p of x. And that is equal to, ayan, 0.16 plus 0.48 plus 3.33 plus 5.6, and that is equal to 9.57. Okay, so meron na tayong summation of x squared times p of x. Meron na rin tayong mu squared, 8.4681. So, ibig sabihin, pwede natin computing yung ating variance. Okay, so si variance, Ayan, dito ka na sa gilid. Okay, so si variance, ayun yung formula niya. Dugtong ko na lang dito ah. Okay, variance, summation of x squared times p of x. Itong value natin na to, that is 9.57. Ito yung na-add natin dito sa last column, which is 9.57. 9.57. Minus daw, minus sa ating mu squared. Ang mu squared natin ay, ito po, nasa baba. We have 8.4681. So that is equal to, our variance is equal to 1.1019, or in 2 decimal places that is equal to 1.1 or 1.10, 1.1 na lang. So this will be our variance, yung 1.1. This will serve as our variance. Ito yung min natin kanina. Next, yung ating standard deviation. Tandaan, sa standard deviation, ang ginagawa lang, square root lang daw natin yung nakukuha natin kay variance. So, our standard deviation is equal to, standard deviation equal to, yung value natin dito. Square root lang nung nakuha natin dito. Kunin po natin yung kabuuan na, wag po yung naka-round off. Itong kabuuan yung kunin na. Square root ng 1.1019. So our standard deviation, that is equal to square root of 1.1019, that is equal to 1.0497142, and may karugtong pa yan, 47. Okay, din na kasya. So since 2 decimal places lang namin kukunin ka dyan, so our standard deviation, 2 decimal places, 9 to. So round up tong 4, magiging 5. So magiging 1.05. So this will be my standard deviation. Okay. So sa isang discrete probability distribution, na-compute ko yung mean, na-compute ko yung variance, na-compute ko yung standard deviation. Okay. Next. Ayan. So paano? Kapag bilang tinanong doon sa given, what will be the value of z-score given this one, kung ang value ng ating z-score ay 2.54. Di ba yung formula ng ating z-score? Dito ko na lang sa another ano. So yung for example lang, hiningi yung z-score. What will be the value of z-score if what is z-score if the value of x is equal to 2.54? Okay, given yung table na kinumpute natin kanina. Tandaan lang na yung formula natin sa z-score, z is equal to score minus the mean over the standard deviation. Okay, so we have z is equal to, yung score na binigay, 2.54 minus yung mean natin. Ano ba yung mean natin kanina? Ito yung nasa baba, 2.91 over standard deviation natin. Ano yung na-compute natin standard deviation? 1.05. Ayan. So first, subtract natin itong nasa taas. Diretso ko na siya. 54 minus 2.91. Then yung kung ano kakalabas na nun, divided by 1.05. And that is equal to negative 0.3523809.524. Okay, or tandaan pagka z-score ang hinihingi, laging 2 decimal places lang yan. Okay, 2 decimal places, so we have negative 0.35. So this will be our z-score. Okay, so diretso z-score yung tanong Ayan.